So my name is Kellee Fabris. I have been a member of the Wisconsin Army National Guard for just over 12 years now. So some of the things that I look for in a leader are how dedicated are they to the job that they are assigned to? Do they love being there? Because if they love being there, that kind of means that they're going to already come in with good spirits and some positivity, and they're just kind of excited to be there, which makes you in turn excited to be there as well. And then I also look for someone that's compassionate. If you care about the people below you, then they're going to care about you back, and the job's going to get done in a more efficient manner. And then integrity. It's okay to be wrong sometimes, and when a leader can admit that they're wrong, I think it's a point where everybody can grow from it, and it just shows that everyone's human in the situation. Over time, I would say that I had it a little tough when I first got in. I was only female in an all-male unit, so I kind of had a little bit of a tougher time getting to where I needed to be and develop leadership skills because it's kind of a different route. But what was awesome about that is it kind of sparked it to happen a lot sooner than it may for other lower enlisted at that point in time. But by having the examples that the leaders I had at that time gave me, I was able to develop them. And I had a sergeant major while I was deployed say to me, would you rather have these tough lessons now as a brand new E5 or have these later on when you're an E8, E9 and have just had easy soldiers the entire time and then not know what to do in a situation where there's diversity or adversity? And I was like, I guess you're right, Sergeant Major. That is such great advice. So I had really good mentorship at that point in my career, and it really shaped me into taking every situation kind of by the horns and facing it and learning from it in those moments and then applying it going forward. So something I tell all of my new recruits, always kind of demand leadership back. So it's not just a one-way street. It is two ways. So just because someone's in a leadership position doesn't mean that you can't ask them for more clarification, more guidance. So that is one of the things that I always say is kind of sticking up for yourself and kind of requesting leadership in a backwards manner. My thoughts on leadership are that people should seek it. It's almost like seeking a mentor. It doesn't just get put in your lap. It's not just a time where it's told to you that, hey, now is the time where you're going to learn this leadership. It's something that happens gradually over time, and you might not even realize when it is happening. It might just be something that stood out to you, and then later on you can use that as, a little token from your pocket that's like, hey, I remember a situation that happened, and I can now use this in a way where I can apply it. So it's something that I would say is just keep your eyes, ears open. You never know when a situation is going to help you out in the future. Another thing I feel strongly about leadership is being in the Wisconsin Army National Guard, that's not the only place that it applies. A lot of times it's expedited in how you learn it through the Army National Guard, but it applies to your civilian life as well. An example that I have super quick is that once I got back from basic and AIT, I wanted to get a more professional job. I felt this growth within myself and I wanted something different. So I applied for a position that I had zero qualifications for. However, I got the job over people that were way more qualified, way more skilled, and had more tenure than I did. And about 2 to 3 months after I got the position, my supervisor called me in and she said, do you know why I hired you? And I said, no, ma'am, I don't. Can you tell me? And she says, I'm going to tell you. I said, cool. She says it was something about your poise, your eye connection. It was this quality in you that I haven't seen in other people. And I was about 21, 22 at that time. So being that young, sometimes those don't come naturally all the time. So it was really great to hear, because when I reflect on it now that I'm older, I'm like, that was because of joining the military. Like that's what gave me that boost ahead of, people that had those skills and qualities that I otherwise wouldn't have had unless I joined. After I got back from deployment and I kind of had gained these new skills that I had worked on with my sergeant major, I had a clerk that I worked with. I was his supervisor. We kind of ran into a situation where before I got there, he was kind of run through the mud. And me coming in, I took the time to learn him as far as, what is it that you like about doing this job? How can I make this better for you? What skills haven't you learned yet? What responsibilities can I give you, and what do you need from me as your leader? And we would have these counselings quarterly. And I learned so much about him in that time frame. I learned that he really wanted to do a different job. He wanted to learn some new skills, and I said, hey, let's go ahead and do that. He said he wanted to go to one of the leadership courses that we have in the Wisconsin Army National Guard, and I said, let's do that. Let's get you to that point. So he got to get a new job skill. He went to the leadership school. He shortly after got promoted himself, but what was cool to see was him grow as well, and how he took on a whole new persona when he would walk in the door and come to drill. He more enjoyed it than he felt miserable prior to that. So it was kind of a beautiful process to see, because as an outside person looking in, you don't get that perspective on yourself until you watch someone else kind of grow and take those steps towards leadership as well. And I felt proud of myself because I was able to recall situations that I'd had in the past and apply it to help somebody else out. Another thing I'll say is when I was developing as a new NCO, I thought I had to be this mold, and I was trying to take on other people's leadership skills, but after a while I figured out I can't do that. It's not sustainable, and it's not relatable to, potential subordinates outside of that. So I decided I was gonna be me. So that's what I am all the time now, and I think it's far more relatable, and it makes people feel more comfortable when they know that they have to do work with you or for you. And I think from a leadership standpoint, if I had someone above me that was personable and someone that kind of had that open door policy, I would feel more comfortable being able to bring issues or concerns or just ideas and innovation to them so that we can all have a more productive work environment. So if you're looking to unleash your potential to be a leader and apply that to your life in some way, join the Wisconsin Army National Guard. You can do that by clicking on the links below, or by going to our website, which is the wisconsinarmynationalguard.com. You could search in a recruiter that's in your location by putting in your zip code, or you can go to one of the local armories. They usually have recruiters there, and you can ask them some questions.